MK Podquest.
Also, mercifully, this was 20 minutes, huh?
Holy smokes, your audio just got better.
Yeah? Like, how much better?
Good enough.
I pointed my mic more directly at my mouth.
That's probably all it took.
I was sort of talking off to the side.
Yeah, understandable.
Because how else am I going to watch 5-Minute Crafts Family if I'm not looking at my other monitor?
This is the first recording I've done with 2 monitors. Corey, I got 2 monitors.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I have one external monitor and then the one built into my Surface. So
Right. And life-changing, yeah?
Underutilized up till this moment, but now time.is is a full screen.
That's very funny. That's funny because it's completely needless.
And I got other tabs open.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I have. Let me explain to you my setup. So I've got one screen that is just Adobe Audition right now.
Okay.
And then I'll move my notes there when we start, and then I've got Discord open and time.is both open on the other screen. Like one's on the top half, one's on the bottom half because it's vertically oriented.
Right.
And then I can switch between those things. If you've ever wondered why...
Switch between those things and Radiant Silvergun.
You can switch between those things, and if you've ever wondered why every once in a while I just go, you guys need to see this tweet, it's because I have too many monitors. That's the reason my Twitter account is open at all when I'm recording.
You have like 3 total?
No, I have 2 monitors, but the tab is just open. And because one of the monitors is vertical, like Discord and Google Chrome are both on that screen.
Gotcha.
Simultaneously. So my Discord is always open.
This is one of those portable monitors, you know?
Okay.
It was like a super cheap evil website deal.
Evil website? Like you bought it from like the Acme Corporation?
Well, Amazon. I call it the evil website.
Oh, I had to buy some Christmas gifts off Amazon today, and I'll tell you what, I did feel like I was making an ethical compromise.
It happens, you know. 'Tis the season, as they say.
How else was I going to do it?
Should we clap?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that's a nice looking setup.
Yeah, I don't use that Stream Deck for shit, though.
Yeah,
I had like very lofty aspirations of getting it, and then I don't use it at all.
So hyped to get that thing. I remember you programmed a button to launch the Defenders of the Realm playlist on YouTube.
That button is still there. And I also have a button for F1 2021, a game I uninstalled to make space for F1 22.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
The one thing that's nice that I use sometimes is one of the buttons is programmed as Spotify play pause.
Okay.
That's kind of nice.
That is nice. You know what? Fuck it. We're not clapping.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Tab's already closed.
I clapped. I don't know. Do with that whatever you will.
It'll be fine.
You know who wouldn't have clapped?
Robotnik Claus.
Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
Sonic the fucking... Corey, do you think anyone in our listening audience would be surprised to learn that I have a DVD copy of Sonic Christmas Blast?
No, and I wasn't either.
You were completely unfazed by it, weren't you?
Do you think anybody in our listening audience would be surprised that of the Sonic cartoons available to children when I was a child, this is the one that I watched?
The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, a.k.a.
Absolutely.
The one with the chicken robot. That's right.
Yeah.
The only reason we're doing this is because we had to talk about the chicken robot so many times.
The only reason we're doing this is because I won't shut the fuck up about the goddamn chicken robot.
Yeah. You need to shut
after not having watched that show for like a very long time.
About the goddamn chicken robot.
This is putting the chicken robot to bed.
Yes.
This is what we're doing.
We're doing 2 things today. We're putting the chicken robot out of his fucking misery.
Out of our misery, potentially.
and we're getting into the goddamn holiday spirit, motherfuckers.
Dude, I've never felt more cheery. It's like 8 degrees. It was raining.
Holy shit.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Am I right, Gabe?
Damn. You had like an excellent environment within to watch this 22-minute Sonic Christmas special.
It's never felt more festive than the complete lack of snow in Canada's capital city on December 4th.
This Christmas special also finally gonna confirm that Sonic the Hedgehog is in fact a Christian.
That's true. It's also going to confirm that they do live in a place where the seasons change, because every other episode of this show would lead you to believe that they do not.
Yeah, it's just like
but it just full on fucking snows here.
Like,
what's the climate like? What biome are we in?
If I'm remembering the series Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, everything was just sort of, it felt like we were in the wastelands of like a horrible climate crisis.
Yeah, it was sort of like, what if after the Water Wars, the graphic designer that was left was the Jazz Cup guy.
Basically.
And he sort of did everything now.
And something happened.
He's your architect and your neon sign manufacturer and your car dealership. And there's a circus tent.
Yeah, and something has happened that has made the animals become
cringe,
anthropomorphic, and able to speak languages and travel at impossible speeds.
Yes,
yeah.
I think it's worth... COP27 happened recently, climate change conference.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this.
I believe you.
And I think the thing that we hadn't considered is showing Sonic Christmas Blast, which we could potentially assume maybe comes before the rest of the show, and then showing this sort of post-apocalypse nightmare climate change world wherein also all the animals have become robots and the one hedgehog has to go very fast. As sort of a warning, like a harbinger of why we should maybe take some action here, then maybe we'd be doing more.
Where was this conference held?
Oh boy.
I mean, it's like if it was held in Spain, this whole thing would be a no-go because this Christmas special never aired in Spain. That's just a true fact from the trivia on the Sonic Wiki.
I was correct. It was in Egypt. Do we know if it aired in Egypt?
Let's see. Bulgaria, Brazil, Croatia, France, Italy, Norway, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Serbian. There is a Spanish title, but it was not aired in Spain.
That's despite the Spanish. They know what they did.
Does Spain get the Disney Cartoon Channel?
Does Spain know what it's like as a child to yearn so badly to do a commercial bumper where you draw the Disney Channel logo and say your name and that you're watching Disney Channel?
Do they know it's Christmas?
Do they know it's Sonic Christmas Blast?
We got to talk about this title real quick. Okay.
It's sort of like, what if we stepped out of 3 dimensions and into the holiday season Blast?
Obviously, it is a reference to the game Sonic 3D Blast, but that was
which is nonsensical.
Well, it's about to get more nonsensical. Okay,
good.
Buckle up, because that was not the original title of this Christmas special, this special holiday Sonic episode.
They decided later it needed to be cross promotion.
The original title was An Extremely Sonic Christmas. Do you know the saga of the canceled Sega Saturn game Sonic Extreme?
I've heard of Sonic Extreme.
Okay.
It's Extreme with an X. That's how you know it was Extreme.
Yeah. X-Treme.
I don't know if I fully know the deal, or at least I can't think of it.
A short version. It was being developed for the Sega Saturn, and then it got canceled, and they rushed out a port of Sonic 3D Blast for the Saturn instead, which is actually a pretty good version of that game. But they didn't have a Sonic Extreme to tie into this Extremely Sonic Christmas special, so they just changed the name to Sonic Christmas Blast. That's the whole story.
Interesting. That's so...
But that's why he says at the end, I hope you have an extremely Merry Christmas.
That's why he says at the end, Sonic Extreme now in stores for the Sega Saturn.
And they just dubbed over it with Sonic 3D Blast in a different voice.
But his mouth is moving so much.
You can tell he was saying Sonic Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. They spent a fortune animating. That was the only time they cared about the mouth matching up to the words.
They put Jaleel White's human face on Sonic's body, and he said, Merry 3D Christmas.
But he was wearing the Urkel glasses, and it was very confusing.
Yeah, he was on set that day.
They just got him in the middle of an episode of Family Matters. Should we jump into this?
And it does. Doesn't it matter?
Should we jump in? Go ahead. You got something to say.
Well, the last thing I was going to say is just in terms of Christmas, this is probably our most direct Christmas content.
It's in the title.
There's a relatively small number of available Mortal Christmas properties. So give us this.
By relatively small, you mean the one thing I did last year for the podcast.
That's absolutely correct. So you're going to have to live with the chicken robot, whose name is Doug.
That's not his name.
No, it's not. That might be the other robot's name, though.
No, the other robot is named Grounder. who's actually from Sonic 2, the game. You could kick his ass a bunch in Aquatic Ruin Zone. I think that's the 3rd level.
So you know what's cool about Grounder having a name?
But he was red. He was more Christmassy in that game than he was in this.
So you know what's cool about that guy having a name and the chicken robot having a name that nobody cares about?
I don't know. What?
Nobody ever says them, so who cares? Not once in this fucking episode do they name these fools.
Also, not once in this fucking episode does a woman speak.
Oh yeah, Sally doesn't say anything.
She doesn't say shit.
The conversation is ending and Sonic talks and he just leaves. And then she says she doesn't want gifts, but she got really mad at me last year when I didn't buy her gifts, so I'm going to buy twice as many.
Typical woman, am I right?
Am I right, gamers? Sonic 3D Blast, available now.
So he just like buries her in presents, picks one up, force kisses her with mistletoe, and then drops the present back on her head.
Yeah, I guess this is a mistletoe. You've consented. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I do whatever the fuck I want. Just don't speak. None of that was jokes, listeners. That was all actually in the episode.
Yeah, we're not. That's not funny, and also we wouldn't have thought of that.
No. Do we want to go old school with this and do a Corey corner and a Neil Nook?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You know what though?
That'll be the bulk of the episode. So.
Look, I'm gonna play the drops, but I think we need to give the names of I think that we need to call it the Carol corner, like Christmas carols.
Yeah.
And then the Noel Nook.
Sure.
Right.
I love Oasis.
And I'm not going to change the sound drops. I'm just going to add some jingle bells to the background.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, glad you love Oasis.
Yeah, Noel.
Looking for the button.
Yeah, we're the pregnant pauses. Well, can you listeners write in mkpodquest at edu.gov. That's our email.
That's actually the boys at edu.gov.
Yeah, whatever. Education, the government.
Somebody needs to. Am I right?
You guess if it sounds like we haven't done this in a while.
Well, I'm going to clean this up in editing.
Of course.
They're not going to notice. Let's go over to the Carol corner.
Welcome to the Carol corner. Did it for you. Don't even worry about it, bro.
I wasn't.
So, oh my God.
It's 1996. You're parked in front of, it's a year after you were born.
Before.
You're parked in front of the USA Network. Parked in front of the TV.
I'm not alive yet.
Watching the USA Network.
My parents are watching the USA Network. And
Sonic Christmas Blast is your earliest childhood memory.
And as a non-living child. So this starts with a bunch of bullshit, like an opening sequence that has a bunch of Christmas music, whatever, who cares.
It's a modified version of the opening to Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
It absolutely is. You're so right.
But they do like the Mission Impossible thing where they show you clips from this episode at the beginning. Yeah,
as if you could really need that.
Just gotta get you hyped up for all that BMX action.
There's just so much to this. So we're in Robot-tropolis.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas season. It's the Christmas time. And a very transparently robotic Santa Claus that no one seems to be onto yet is making an announcement on a Jumbotron to the whole city. The fact that Santa is just a known guy who exists and is real isn't really remarked upon. And the fact that he lives in Robot-tropolis is certainly interesting. And he's like, "Hello, everyone, I'm Santa Claus. I sure like being Santa Claus, but oh fuck, I think I'm gonna pack it in. I'm all done. And you know who I think's gonna take my place? It's the very cool man himself, Dr. Robotnik." And then everybody goes, "Fuck that guy!
Fuck that guy!" Approval rating is 0.
In the dog shit. And then Robotnik Claus steps out looking the most jacked up a man has ever looked. He's got a toe sticking out of his boot.
I was gonna say, did you notice he's got a toe sticking out of his boot? It's fucking
Boy,
disgusting.
did He's in like a really tight, ill-fitting Santa suit, and he's like, I can't wait to be Santa, but things are gonna be a little bit different this year. And then there's a little kid who's like, fuck you, old man. So while Robotnik is ruining Christmas, Sonic is talking at a woman.
Yes.
Not to.
Yes.
At.
Very specifically.
Great. Glad we've decided we're not doing gifts again this year. Bye, Sally. LMAO. Women, am I right, Tails? I need to buy her so many gifts now. Because last year we said no gifts, and when I didn't have any gifts, she got big bad bitch pissed at me.
So,
That's what Sonic says.
Can I interrupt here?
Yeah, Sonic says.
That was good. That is what Sonic says. Sonic says women are liars. I'm on the IMDb page for this, and I was looking at the cast list, and you know how IMDb, the website, sucks now?
Yeah, it's fucking, I'm so angry. I hate it.
There's a they've got the user lists on the side here, things related to this. Short films, top 100 watched, animation, movies that I already watched, somebody's list. The next list is a picture of Steve Urkel, and it just says Jaleel White stuff.
That's awesome. I like that. Making Jaleel White stuff is also redundant if you just go to Jaleel White's IMDb.
Created 3 weeks ago, 23 titles.
Dude, that's incredible.
All right. Number one on that list, Full House episode, Stephanie Gets Framed. Go on.
So the one thing that Sally did get him is a gold ring with some sort of symbol on it. He's like, I don't know what it means. Gotta go fast. Time to go Christmas shopping, Tails. And Tails is like, okay, Sonic.
Yeah, let's juice, right?
Gotta juice, bro. Getting juiced, bro. Like the Liver King. You hear about that? In this economy?
I hadn't heard of that motherfucker until that. So
I had only seen him in like one other YouTube video.
It's not really on my algorithm, guys like that.
He wasn't around in 1996.
Right.
Watching the USA Network. So they go to Robot Land.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is everything's gone. Yeah. And the reason everything's gone is that Robotnik has demanded that first of all, I'm actually looking at a plot synopsis just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
You didn't. There's nothing to miss.
No. But somebody described the plot synopsis on sonic.fandom.com says, of course, being the greedy porker he is, Robotnik demands that the children give him presents for Christmas instead of the other way around.
Yeah, what a good website. I'm on the exact same website.
Dude, that's awesome. So
they know how to do it over there at the Sonic News Network fandom.
Yeah, so Robotnik had been like, I'm going to get all the Christmas gifts. And a kid was like, first of all, Robotnik, I know this isn't Corner Corner, I need to pick it up here, but he says, adults are banned from sitting on my lap.
Right?
Children only.
He specifically says mothers are banned from sitting on Santa's lap.
That's dialogue.
So A, Robotnik don't want any ladies sitting on his lap.
No.
And B, old Santa apparently required it.
Old Santa was a MILF hound for sure.
Old Santa was horny like Raiden in Conquest.
Also, I'm going to apologize now for just saying the phrase MILF hound. That was horrible.
No, it's fine.
It's funny, but it's just like, man, we're just really putting words together here at the MK Podquest Factory. So this little kid is like, fuck you, old man. And he gets sent to get arrested and locked up in the robot factory.
A fucking robot like prison camp.
He goes to the robot gulag.
On Christmas, dude.
On fucking Christ's Mass. Yeah. And Sonic and Tails are looking around and it's like, hey, Tails, where's all the gifts? And he's like, I don't know, Sonic. I feel like the Tails voice is the easiest one to do. I feel like that Tails voice isn't that bad.
It's fine. Honestly, it's fine.
It's not good, but it's fine.
Little preview of the Noel Nook. Different voice actor than the series.
Interesting. So they're like, huh. The kid is like, and it's funny because so the kid gets into the gulag, and then the kid shows up, and he's like, man, shit was crazy. I got sent to the robot gulag, and they're like, wow, okay. And then
The most interesting
just-
part of this story, we're not going to show it to you.
And so this little kid escapes the robot gulag, and he goes to Sonic and Tails, and he's like, everything's fucked. Robotnik Claus is a Christmas tyrant. He took all the gifts for himself. Scratch and Grounder are like, we're going to beat your ass.
They have a big machine.
And then Sonic gots to go fast, and he magnets them up with their own big machine that somehow doesn't impact the metal machine at all. And
Well.
they get annihilated because those poor robot boys are useless. I'll skip the specifics. Let's just get there. So it's found out that Santa Claus, the real one, because remember, the robot Santa Claus delivered the Robotnik Claus message.
The real reason for the season.
Yeah. Has been locked just a couple miles away from the North Pole. You're not that far away from where he normally is. 7 to be precise.
Yeah, I believe it's 7. A quick bike ride away.
Yeah, not that far. A short drive. And from there, they go rescue Santa. And they're like, thanks for rescuing me. But it's way too late. We don't have time to save Christmas unless. And then Sonic goes, unless. And then Tails goes, unless, Sonic. And then what we discover, and this is fucking crazy. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
What we discover.
This is brilliant writing.
Is so
Third
he's got
act
a
twist.
He's got a ring. And he doesn't know what the ring means. And
No.
Sally never told him what the ring does. And Santa's Claus,
Santa
Santa's Claus,
Yes.
Saint Nicholas Christmas says, don't worry, I've been locked in this cave and I discovered these ancient pictographs in this cave. And those pictographs include the logo on Sonic's ring.
Yep.
And they lay out a series of impossible challenges wherein if he completes them, they describe them as impossible. They seem quite doable.
Yes, but also
a series. Yes,
they lay out 2 of them, but then he does a bunch of other stuff that we aren't told.
like so, well,
why.
he goes on a bike ride
right.
mostly.
Yeah.
He mostly goes on a bike ride, but he can uncover the secret to ultimate velocity if he is wearing this ring and completes these challenges. This is introduced, by the way, with 6 minutes left.
Yes.
All of this information. So he has to go climb up a fucked up mountain and do the Calamity Cliffs and a bike ride. And then with the power of Christmas, he discovers what is described as the power of ultimate. It's now ultimate velocity.
Ultimate velocity.
So the power of ultimate velocity, supersonicness, and extreme speed.
Hell yeah. Extreme speed. Again,
And then
another
he
reference
goes,
to canceled Sega Saturn game.
Yeah. And then what happens from there is Santa goes, well, it's still too late. It's still Christmas Eve. It would take me till fucking July to get this done. I know I normally do it in one night, but I got to get back on my feet. And then Sonic goes, yeah, don't worry, Saint Nick. Got to go fast. And then goes fast and steals all the presents from Robotnik, and Christmas is saved.
Goes fast, but doesn't go seemingly any faster than he normally does.
Goes, he goes ultimate velocity, of course.
Right, of course. Yeah.
They could have just turned him gold. It was right there.
The issue was he had ultimate velocity, but his acceleration was the same, so it still took a while.
Yes.
It's a joke for all the physicists in the audience.
So that's the Carol Corner. It's really dumb.
It's pretty fucking dumb.
It's dumb in a weird way because it's so short that like it just didn't need all these moving pieces.
It didn't.
Just simplify.
Yeah. Simplify. Let's go over to the Noel Nook.
Please.
Welcome to the Noel Nook.
It's Gucci.
That's a can of eggnog being cracked open.
Yeah, okay, so I know I made a joke earlier that I'm not going to look at Twitter when we record anymore, but I've just seen a very important tweet
Let's hear it.
from @TheWeekend.
Oh boy. Strap in.
It says 12/16/22. That's a date. It's 12 days from now.
Uh-huh.
And it is a 12-second video along with the Avatar Way of the Water logo. So I think The Weeknd has a song for the Avatar movie.
Or maybe he's just really psyched about the movie.
Or he's very excited about the movie. But
He's just,
I
like,
have
fucking
reason to
thrilled.
believe The Weeknd might have a promotional song for
Promotional
Avatar.
song for Avatar. Are we bringing that back finally? Are we doing that?
Finally. It's
Are we
going to be
doing,
called The Way of the Water.
Hell yeah.
And there'll be a music video that James Cameron directed, and it took him 4 years. 4 years of the most intensive labor
They've
you've
been working
ever
on
seen
it.
in your life.
They've been working on it since The Weeknd started his career.
Yeah, they've been working on it since like 2009.
And it'll finally be out.
Just in time.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
So,
It's the last tweet, I promise.
Corey, we talked a lot about Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons during Defenders of the Realm because there were a lot of shared voice actors, right?
That's true, yes.
Primarily between a different Sonic series than this one.
But I always kind of insisted it was actually this one.
Right.
And that's basically the only
So-
reason we're talking about this at all.
We are not going to hear any familiar names. None of these people were in Defenders of the Realm, as far as my research can tell me.
I'll be the judge of that.
The director, Blair Peters, had nothing to do with Defenders of the Realm. The writers, Reed Shelley and Bruce Shelley, did not have anything to do with Defenders of the Realm. Our rad,
Metric for success.
our,
is that.
our rude dude, Sonic the Hedgehog, was, of course, voiced by Jaleel White, everybody's favorite Steve Urkel. Nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. Long John Baldry, in his final performance as Dr. Robotnik, also not in Mortal
That's
Kombat.
tough. That's not good for him.
He passed away in 2005 at the age of 64. He did some voices on Sabrina the Animated Series, so that's fun for me.
Yeah, I do like his Robotnik voice. I just think this cartoon is of interesting quality.
It's a goofy, silly cartoon for children, and he does a goofy, silly Robotnik voice where he rolls his R's like crazy, and I'm into it. Your boy Chicken Robot, aka Scratch, is voiced by Philip Maurice Hayes, who has nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. Grounder was voiced by Gary Chalk, who I'm just going to assume had nothing to do with Mortal Kombat. Miles Tails Prower, voiced by Chris Turner, who did not voice him in the rest of the series. A different guy named Chris did, but I closed that tab, so I'm not going to go searching for it.
Sure.
Eric Pospisil voices Boy.
Boy.
Yeah, just Boy.
Voices young child man.
Jay Brazeau as Santa Claus. And Tabitha St. Germain as the bird that complements Sonic's ring and allegedly the sound that Princess Sally makes at the end.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all the credits on IMDb.
Wait. Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Sonic fandom page again.
Okay. Sure.
And I know that they do translate this into several languages.
Yes, I need to talk to you about something. Are you at the end of the trivia section?
I'm not. I just want to point out the direct translation of the French title.
Yes. Please pronounce the French. This is what I... Okay.
I don't speak great French, just to be clear. So this is not like, if you're French, don't get mad at me. I live in Canada and I stopped taking it in the 10th grade. But Le Père Noël est un doublure. I've never seen that word before, so I'm going to go with that, which translates to Santa Claus is an understudy.
Corey, do me a favor and scroll down to the very last line of the trivia section and read what that says.
The French name for this special is a reference to Le Père Noël est un ordure. Santa Claus is a stinker, a popular French comedy play and movie. What a very specific reference to be making for that.
Santa Claus is a stinker.
Also, some of these other translations are good. The Serbian one is a reference to a different Sonic game.
But that not a game that came out until very long afterwards.
Yeah, but it's still just funny to me
Sonic's
that it's Sonic's Christmas Rush.
And the Latin American title, Sonic's Christmas Special, obviously a reference to Sonic's Super Special comic books.
Yeah, we've also... The Bulgarian one is underrated, I think. Sonic the Christmas Hedgehog.
That's pretty...
Which I almost wonder is a typo on the part of the fandom website.
Tell me, what is the Dutch one?
That's awesome. Sonic Christmas Blast translated to Sonic Christmas Blast. Can I also just say that the Brazilian Portuguese sounds great in Portuguese? O Natal Fantástico de Sonic. Sonic's Fantastic
good.
Christmas.
And then the regular Portuguese translation is Sonic, a booming Christmas, a reference to yet another Sonic series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going to show Sonic Boom, just going to show how ahead of its time this Christmas special was.
This is kind of the Rosetta Stone for modern Sonic.
It really is. This is the special that launched just
1,000 Sonic games.
A sea, just a hurricane of Christian Sonic fan art on DeviantArt.
A hurricane of Christian Sonic fan art.
Yeah. Notably, Princess Sally is in this. She was not a part of the original cartoon series.
Yeah, that did confuse me. I was like, hold on a second.
She's colored pink in this.
That is correct.
Do you know what that's a reference to?
With her being pink?
Yeah.
Misogyny.
It is a reference to the fact that when Sonic CD was released here in the United States, the first appearance of Amy Rose, right, the pink hedgehog, they called her Princess Sally in the game manual because they were like, kids know who Princess Sally is. They don't know who Amy is. Let's tie it into the cartoons. That's real. That's actually real.
It's always weird to say people don't know who this brand new character is. It's like, yeah. They'll find out.
I'm going to take the opportunity to tie it into the Saturday morning cartoon, which had 26 episodes and
4 listeners or viewers.
Might be better than this one, but it's hard to say. I think that's kind of it for the Neil Nook.
Yeah.
Little bits of trivia here and there.
So throughout our show, throughout MK Podquest, the show, I have made it a habit of insisting that
this is the good one.
The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is the good one.
Right.
And I'd actually like to call a press conference right now. So if we could gather local media affiliates.
Sure. You know a few.
Yeah, to ensure that this message gets out to the world, I would just like to say before like my family and the media and God and the devil and Shadow the Hedgehog.
Sure. Yeah.
That
Amy Rose.
That I'm a human and I can make mistakes just like anybody else, you know? And this show, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog on the USA Network in the year of our Lord 1996. I'm stalling just because this is difficult for me to say. It's difficult to admit.
Just say it.
That this is the greatest cart. No, I'm just kidding. This show fucking sucks, dude.
It's pretty fucking bad, isn't it? Like,
or at the very least, this Christmas special is very bad, and we have reason to believe that the whole show was like this.
Corey, I got news for you. I have watched the show.
So have I, just not recently.
As an adult, I've checked in with the show. It's a bad show. It's not a good show. It's not a very good cartoon series at all. It's just weird ass Looney Tunes plots that don't make sense.
It's just visuals and noise.
Terrible music, just as a whole.
They got that.
I mean, yeah, but they mixed it in with. What did they mix it in with?
Shattering plates on the ground.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking of. No, some like I don't know, not Pop Goes the Weasel, but some like old ass music.
Oh, like circus music? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. And I cannot speak to the quality of the other Sonic cartoon that ran at this time. I loved that one as a kid. I rewatched it at some point when it was dropped on DVD when I was surely too old to be watching it, but when has that ever stopped me?
Never. And seeing as you just said that you watched The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog as an adult man.
And I remember still liking it, but also like I just think that I don't enjoy things like this anymore. I just don't. I can't. And I think it's Defender of the Realm's fault. Well,
this is not the kind of low quality that is fun.
Right.
This is because this feels like the equivalent of you're babysitting a young cousin that you don't really know, and they want to spend the whole time poking your arm trying to get your attention by being increasingly loud. That's the viewing experience. It's like the show is convinced that if it's not constantly making weird noise or doing something loud, it's not going to get your attention, and it needs your attention more than it needs oxygen.
Correct.
So it's just going to like, you ever watch I Think You Should Leave?
Yeah.
And do you know the skit with I believe Fred Willard, and he's playing that like very elaborate, like, speaking of smashing plates on the ground, but he's playing like a piano with like horns and smashing plates and like all that stuff, but it's a funeral.
I don't think I've seen that episode. I Think You Should Leave. I've seen the
Holy
first
shit.
season.
It's in the first season.
Is it?
Yeah, he's like
mostly the one I remember is the honk if you're horny.
Yeah, no, he's playing this at a funeral, and he goes, "Don't worry, this is a sad one." And he starts like doing like absolute clown music, like, and he's like smashing plates and like hitting horns and shit. Like,
That's
it's
what this
just
cartoon
that.
is.
It's that. It's that.
It
that.
is.
But not funny, because that skit has like an intentionality to it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Well, some of it's funny because this is stupid. I will say that.
Yeah.
Some of it's funny.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the specifics. Funny.
They do chase a robot in a tank.
Sonic pretending to be the trash man after he smashes Scratch and Grounder to get them to tell him where real Santa Claus is hidden, and being all like, "Oh, I also hate pesky hedgehogs," right? Funny. Right. Funny for a kid, funny. Also stupid and nonsensical.
And nonsensical is not inherently bad.
Right.
But
there's a leap, right? Because he goes like, "Oh man, I hate hedgehogs. I'll waive the fine if you tell me where Santa Claus is hidden." A thing that this trash man should have no concept of, right? Like, it just the storyline doesn't track there. Like, it's a huge leap, and these robots are dumb idiots for falling for it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Fuck, dude.
I got one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Go off. Go off.
Also funny. The idea of Robotnik Claus having his robots build dozens of chimneys onto his house for presents to come down.
Yeah, because he's like, there's so many presents, obviously we need more chimneys, and I guess I understand his logic.
Sure.
But a robot that works for him goes like, "Hey man, there's a lot of chimneys. Don't you think that maybe we could cool it on the chimneys?" And he goes, "Well, there's millions of presents, right? So I think that what we actually need is like hundreds or maybe thousands of chimneys. Go make me more chimneys.
Go make more chimneys."
That is a kind of like nonsense cartoon logic that I can absolutely get behind. Genuinely. Like, that's a funny joke. Like, the logic being like, well, I can't get the gifts if I don't have enough chimneys is very funny.
But the
execution leaves something to be desired.
Sure, not just in the writing of the show, but also in like the functionality of these chimneys. As a construction man, there is no way that the chimneys, the way they are built, are going to function as anything more than something somebody can stand inside of and still be on the roof just surrounded by chimney. They don't go into the structure.
They might.
They don't. There's a gap in the structure, and they're on top of that. Just poor execution on that. Funny visual gag, though. Bunch of chimneys, right?
Maybe they should have retained you on staff as sort of the consultant on account of the chimney construction. I think that was actually maybe the biggest problem I have with the whole special is they didn't have an architect on staff.
They should have had 11-year-old me.
Right.
I guess probably 10. They probably started production on this a year in advance. 10-year-old me, fresh out of his viewing of Mortal Kombat in theaters at the Dollar Theater, come be the art director on this Sonic cartoon.
Might have looked better.
Yeah, honestly, probably wouldn't have. I was a dumbass 11-year-old.
I forget what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. I just remembered. Whatever. So Defenders of the Realm had this problem a little bit, but that show was much more narrative, so it wasn't quite to the same extent.
Yeah.
This is the kind of dumb and pointless that becomes difficult to actually talk about.
Right.
Because it's like, what, we just want to list every bit in this 20-minute Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon into a microphone? That doesn't seem like the greatest possible outcome.
No, and there's a lot of Sonic fans out there, and Christian Sonic fans especially are going to be tuning into this one.
Biblical Sonic fans, yeah. I'm a born-again Sonic fan.
You're a born-again Sonic fan.
Yeah, because it's like, there's some like I do respect the absurdity of being like, yeah, so Santa was kidnapped several days before the reveal of a doppelganger robot Santa. And in that cave, he found ancient pictographs that denote the discovery of ancient symbols that a talking hedgehog can uncover by climbing a mountain and riding a bicycle. Like, that's a level of fucking insane that I genuinely really enjoy, but it's just like, in this package, it doesn't work.
Let's be clear. Not just riding a bicycle. First, he snowboards, right?
He do be snowboarding, absolutely.
I don't think I was prepared in the grand scheme of things of how much snowboarding actually exists in the Sonic game universe. Like every other game, you're snowboarding, at least for a while there. He snowboards to a paraglider that is just kind of chilling, waiting for him. And then he paraglides onto a bicycle, and then he rides the bicycle under the water. It's pretty fucking extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
But it does not really line up with the concept of ancient secret super speed power held in a ring, right?
Yeah.
Unless we are, in fact, in some post-civilization after climate change has ruined the Earth environment here.
I think we are. I think we're onto something with that.
Yeah.
I think maybe, was Al Gore funding Deke Entertainment?
Let me check IMDb. Al Gore. No, he was not.
I'm gonna say maybe he could have built in the climate change message.
Yeah, I guess he could have been a silent partner. Let me read his bio here. No.
How many shell companies were maybe, ExxonMobil was funding the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon?
I guess we do need to get to the bottom of Deke Entertainment. We're gonna visit some more Deke Entertainment stuff with that Sailor Moon dub, man.
Yeah, we sure are. At least the Sailor Moon, like the foundation is much stronger.
Yeah, it's their world. We're just living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crap. This is garbage. This is a garbage TV special.
With some funny absurdity within it, but even at 20 minutes, it's like, I don't know, man. You spend 20 minutes talking to your mom on the phone.
This is the real. This is the real war on Christmas. Is Sonic's Christmas Blast?
Yeah, because if you show a non-denominational child to this cartoon, they will start celebrating Hanukkah.
They will. Yeah,
they just will.
Whatever their concept of Hanukkah is, that's what they'll be doing from now on.
Yeah. Or any number of other end of the year religious celebrations that I could have named had I known what they were called, because I'm uneducated and ignorant. Yeah. They're going to certainly not celebrate Christmas is sort of the main takeaway here.
Right. Now,
they're going to do Festivus.
I watched this today twice.
Why twice? Twice seems unnecessary. I watched it once.
Because I watched it once before, like right when I woke up. And I was like, oh shit, I got to watch that still. And then I had like half an hour to kill before we started. So I was like, I'm just going to watch it again and then we'll start. So like when I messaged you that I was ready, like the credits were rolling.
Interesting.
So I have this DVD, right? And I've had this DVD for a long time. And I used to watch this like as I wrapped presents. I used to put this on and wrap presents because the DVD not only has this on it, but then it has like 4 episodes of Sonic Underground, the other Jaleel White cartoon, the other Jaleel White cartoon series, the one where he's in a band. One? The one where he's in a band. I don't know if it's better.
Wait, he's in a band?
Yeah.
In that? Wait, do I not know anything about Sonic Underground?
You may not know anything about Sonic Underground.
This the one? Is this not the one in the dystopian like Nightmare City?
It also is, but he's got a brother and a sister.
It was about
a
band? I've never seen this logo in my life, and it's like a full ass instrument. I've seen these characters before, right. Like Itchy and Scratchy or whoever these people are. Chunk and Rocker or whoever, like fucking Crash and Bangle or whatever. But
Sonia and Manic are his brother and sister. Manic is the green hedgehog. Sonia is obviously the pink one.
The reason
you never even heard of this.
No, I've heard of it, but okay. I did not know it was about a band. And this is actually I just didn't. Yeah, I'm really just mostly distracted by the fact that I had no idea this was musical related at all, and the logo was literally like a guitar. That's really jarring. Also, why do Sonic's siblings wear clothes and he does not?
Yeah, it's weird.
Also, I guess the thing that's kind of taking me out of this the most is that they just look like Sonic,
right?
But different. And I think we have to apologize to a lot of DeviantArt users.
I got news for you. Jaleel White also voices all 3 of them.
All 3, you say?
Yeah.
All 3 of the Sonic the Hedgehog family.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Do you want to hold on? Do you want to take 20 minutes, watch one of these, and then continue this recording?
I don't know. I don't know. Can I watch 30 seconds of it right now?
Sure. I don't know what
Is
to
that
show
acceptable? I'll just go to the YouTube channel for Getting to Know You and Six is a Crowd full Sonic episodes videos for kids.
Okay.
I'm just watching the opening.
Well, the opening's terrible.
What is this? Was that like a lizard octopus? Wait, hold on. What the fuck is going on?
Tweet us at MK Podquest if Twitter is still around and you want us to watch an episode of Sonic Underground.
What is? Hold on. I might actually have to read. Might have to watch this intro twice. This is very confusing. How did they become leaders of the freedom fight? Was their mom like royalty?
Yeah. In this universe, she was royalty.
I'm sorry. The drums shoot lasers.
I know, right? Pretty clunky for a laser gun. Just a full-ass drum set.
I do miss my children, but have to wait because acting too soon could also seal my children's fate. Famously.
You have to hear one of the
That's Comic Sans. That's Comic Sans. That's Comic Sans. That's Comic Sans.
All right. I'm just picking one of these at random, Corey.
Holy fucking what the fuck? Sorry. I don't know if this is good listening, but I feel like I'm going insane, man.
Yeah,
this is fucking bananas. Also, this whole show is like available on YouTube, apparently.
Probably. Is this an official? Oh my God, it is. Okay, Corey, we have to watch one of the in-episode music videos
right now.
I just found this one at random. I'm gonna get the audio.
Morbius. Michael Morbius. Sorry.
It is Mobius. Everyone, don't get too excited.
Morbius.
It is not Morbin time.
Worcester sauce. So.
Are
we going to watch this live? Are we going to live react to this?
Yeah, this is Sonic Underground episode 30, the Mobius Stomp.
Okay.
And I'll get the audio in the episode because what the fuck are they going to do? The whole thing's on YouTube. And
this is fair enough use. Also, you want to talk about a post-climate disaster world? Look at these trees.
Right? Jesus Christ. Okay. So you got ads that got to play? Get past the ads if you do.
I don't. I am ready to click go when you're ready.
All right. Round 30. 3, 2, 1, fight.
Who's this guy?
Just a big monster.
Is that Gritty?
I think so. It's one of the bad guys. He's been mutated for some reason. There it is. Get ready for some bangers.
Wow, they can conjure instruments? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and they can fucking rock, dude. Are you kidding me?
His glasses just changed. Did you see that?
I did. Now he's got a hat and no glasses. I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the better songs that I remember from this show.
Knuckles plugging his ears in agony.
Yeah, that's right. Knuckles is in this cartoon sometimes.
What is the Mobius Stomp?
It's what they're doing.
They're not doing anything. They're just playing a song.
Maybe that guy was just doing.
Why are they floating?
Why is there a countdown on the side?
I think this is like they like pulled it from somewhere they weren't supposed to have.
So that's the quality of music we're dealing with in Sonic
It's not great. Also, it's really weird that his sunglasses change, and they don't really acknowledge that at all.
Also, how does he wear a hat with all those spines on his head?
Also, can the drum kit shoot lasers?
Yeah, at least in the opening it can. I don't know about the rest of the series, but I
also,
do think
so
that
they like
hit
wear
those
instrument pendants and they can just summon instruments. So all Sonic is just dumb as fuck.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, these cartoons are all pretty fucking lousy.
And look, I'm okay with that. Just to be clear.
Yeah,
I don't say that in a pejorative way.
I don't think anyone took it that way. Let me take it. Let me get back to my point. So I used to just put this on. I would put this on, and then I would put.
You don't need to do this to yourself anymore, man.
South Park, Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics that I also had on DVD on while I wrapped presents, and that was like a tradition I did like every year before Christmas. Several years ago, mind you. Now when I watch this, I'm like, the fuck was I?
What were
doing
you
and thinking?
Were you okay at the time? Do you want to talk about it or?
Well, off the air, probably. I don't know if that's an on the air conversation, but like, yeah, I might have been going through some stuff for a long time there. But man, it is
That
watching
Sonic
this today.
could only fix.
So anyway, my point is, I've probably seen this thing 10 times over the many years since it's been out.
That's interesting.
And I haven't watched it in a long time. Watched it twice today. Forgot shit that happened in it between the viewings. Okay?
Okay.
Like, there is nothing going on in this thing. In fact,
it is kind of in one ear, out the other.
I looked away for 30 seconds and suddenly, like, Santa Claus is telling Sonic that he's got a snowboard. And I was like, when the fuck did Santa Claus show up? Like,
yeah, it does just kind of happen.
It's
not good.
It's not good. Nobody needs to watch this ever again. Like,
We did it so you don't have to.
shout out to Jaleel White. Okay.
Yeah, Julia White's cool. I don't have an issue with
Yeah.
Julia White.
I think he's
Or
cool.
anybody else who made this, to be clear.
Right. Shout out to Long John Baldry, rest in power. But nobody needs to watch this. Don't ruin your Christmas by watching this.
Let us ruin ours.
Like I have ruined mine and had ruined mine for so many years. That's what Sonic says. What do you got going on, Corey?
Other podcasts still and permanently until the day of my mortal death at the hands of Sonic the Hedgehog.
At the hands of Santa Claus.
You'd think Shadow would be the one to kill me because he's got guns, but Shadow is cool and chill. Where Sonic is sort of a petulant weirdo,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Doped out of his mind on ephedrine.
Yeah, he loves drugs. I bet he loves drugs, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think
If I know 3 things about Sonic the Hedgehog, he loves drugs, being pregnant, and God.
and 2 of those things are fine. I'm not going to say which because we all kind of know already.
Yeah, you all know.
Yeah. Sonic, where do we go if we want to listen to Corey's other podcast? Okay, Tails, if you go to Mortal Kombat Conquest.ca, you can.
Yeah.
This is not my Sonic voice anymore. This is just a voice, but
Let's juice on over to Mortal Kombat Conquest.ca.
where you can listen to episodes of They Made Another One, man. Where I'm gonna stop doing this. You can listen to They Made Another One, which is a show that I do with our friends Liam and Mitch. It's about sequels and reboots and remakes and stuff. It's They Made Another on Twitter. Sonic, I want to get into Formula One, but I don't know how. Oh, I know. I'm gonna listen to Strat 2. It's the podcast that Corey does with his friend Callum, and they talk about all the cars and stuff. Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic's on an F1 car, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He is on the Williams from 1990. I don't remember.
Probably 95. That was like the Sonic year.
93.
That's what I said. It's just totally what I said. 93.
Yeah, 93.
So go learn about that on Strat 2.
We do actually talk about it. That was for the Sega European Grand Prix of 1993.
Hell yeah.
We did a trivia episode, and one of my questions was what video game character appeared on the trophy, because it's Sonic.
Yeah.
And he did not get that question right.
Fake fan.
He got stumped and then named like 4 Mario characters and then came up.
Ratchet and Clank. A little early, buddy.
Crunch Bandicoot. Astro's Playroom.
Are you still plugging things?
No, I'm just sort of saying stuff now. Those are the 2 things I have to plug.
I just thought of the 4th thing that Sonic loves, and a huge oversight. There was not a single one in this Christmas special. Chili dogs.
Well, they're not in season. They grow on trees in his world.
That's how fucked up the environment is.
That's how fucked up the environment is, dude.
I do a show about the Alien franchise, the Alien universe called Crew Expendable. You can find that at crewexpendable.net. Do that with our buddy Kenny. And I do this show about Mortal Kombat stuff. You can find links to those also at mortalkombatconquest.ca, or just find this show at mkpodquest.com, on Twitter at mkpodquest, Instagram at mkpodquest, etc. I am not sharing my personal socials for fear of the Sonic fan backlash.
Yeah, we'll share those in 2023.
Yeah. We're gonna juice.
Sonic, I got a juice! Sonic!
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Don't watch this.
It's true, don't.
I'm stopping.
It's very fun doing that Tails voice.